Hi, in this video I would like to show you some of the cool things optics.js can do for you. Optics.js is a library for data access and manipulation in a concise, immutable way. Here I have some data I want to access and manipulate. I have just a few people and they have names, month, birth, and the age. So the first thing we could try to do is to get all the different first names in this list, and we can do this easily by just writing an optics which says, well, access every value in the array, that's what values does for you, and then access the name property and then the first property. And then we can say, well, apply this, get the array to this amount of information. And then if we execute this, what we get back is exactly those first names. Here, optic is what creates the optics, what creates a pointer to the data which we want to access or manipulate. And then with this pointer, we can apply an operation, in this case, to array to get the information we want. What happened if we now write something similar in which we access the name and the last name, but then we apply this to people? We will get a nasty undefined. And that's because if you look here app, this doesn't have a last name because we think of it as an optional property. So you can tell this to optics.js by saying, well, maybe you have a last name. And if it's not there, it knows that it doesn't have to do anything with it. Something cooler is that we can also get information by looking at some pieces of the data. For example, we can again start by looking at every value in the array and then saying, well, I just want to get all whose birth month is April. And then we can apply this to people again and get the third. And then if you see here, now there is like this Serrano, which corresponds to Alejandro, which age 32, and Laura, which has also birth month April. So we've taken out Flavio, whose birth month is August. What it's even nicer is that now we can say, well, get only the age of those, and then we will only get the age. So we can nest this data manipulation. Now, what I find even nicer is that we can copy this. And then instead of turning it into an array, let me give this a name because it's gonna get longer. I could say, well, please to all those which are pointed by this, modified somehow. And in this case, I'm gonna modify the age because that's the thing which is gonna be pointed at. So now the result it's gonna be the result of getting people and then modifying exactly those values which are pointed by this optic O. And you can see the result here. Again, the result is going to be not people, I want to show rest for. The result is going to be the same thing, but you can see that Alejandro has upgraded its age to 30, different from 32 here. And also, Laura has become 28 instead of 27. But Flavio, who was not pointed by this optic, doesn't get changed. So this kind of complex manipulation in which you want to filter some part and then access a nested part of it and only change this, I think this is complicated to express without a framework like optics. Furthermore, what you see here is that every time we apply an operation, we get back a new copy. So that's great if you want to apply these ideas of immutability to your own code base. I hope you enjoyed looking at these examples. To find more about optics.js, just go to the website or the GitHub repo.